The MCU is coming off of an incredible year where 5 of the 6 top movies of 2021 domestic are MCU or MCU adjacent. Look at them just rack those hits up. And then speaking of hits, Kevin Feige totally changed the streaming game over on Disney Plus with 5 shows in a single year that I think were all hits and some of them mega hits. But it wasn't a perfect year either, as the MCU also got its most poorly reviewed film to date, and fans were not happy with some of the developments, from changes to characters to some shows for some fans being a little slow. Alright, so can Feige top himself yet again in 2022, but also at the same time avoid more controversy as he takes more risks? For the first decade, people said, yeah, Marvel's successful, but they don't take any risks. Well, he's taking risks now, baby. And, there's some collateral damage. But I'm glad he's not stopping trying. As you're going to see, there's incredible representation. It continues to be, even more so, in this next chunk of Phase 4. So I think the odds are pretty good that he has some very big hits ahead of him, perhaps his biggest yet. But as for more controversy, well, I'm going to lay out the situation for you, and you decide if he has more choppy waters ahead, and if he can navigate them, or if you think he will successfully navigate them. We'll never know until we actually see it. All right, so let's break it down. On the film front, Feige is taking the extra time to get Doctor Strange 2 just right after Sam Raimi's first cut tested quite poorly with Disney employees or cast members, as I first reported to you. I have a couple scoops here that I got first, and people didn't believe, but they were proven correct. I'm also hearing that a new cut is likely screening for employees very soon, and us scoopers will be working very hard to find out how much of the original story has changed. As I also first reported to you, Feige is adding a ton of additional cameos with these reshoots as well to not only out Multiverse No Way Home, but I think is a bit of a safety net for the movie, right? Like, who cares what's in it if all these cool characters are going to come back? Doctor Strange 2's ad campaign, though, got off to a great start with the first teaser, which started out as an end credit scene for No Way Home, and this incredible poster. So beautiful. With its new kick off the summer release date, that's actually its best release date yet, and Wandamania, I love that that's a thing. Could we end up having a bigger movie here than Endgame? Could Doctor Strange 2 be Marvel's biggest movie to date? I think it's a good shot. Thor Love and Thunder now strikes July 8th after all the movies have shifted because of first COVID. Now Doctor Strange 2 moved everybody back. July 8th for the 4th of July window. A lot of movies have made a lot of money here. Many of them Marvel or Marvel adjacent. And it's also, by the way, Guardians of the Galaxy 2.5. You'll remember Thor took off in the Milano at the end of Endgame, leaving New Asgard in Valkyrie's care. And Valkyrie looks like a queen in this recently snapped selfie by Tessa Thompson on set. Thompson also said the LGBT Valkyrie would be looking for a queen to rule beside her, and with it looking like Valkyrie might be in the Marvels, well, some fans are wondering if this will be a ship come true. I would vote for this. I think this would be great. But Thor Love and Thunder is tricky, as it might be just too much for Taika Waititi to do. And he's very talented, but he might have bitten off more than anyone could chew, quite frankly. He's doing Gore the God Butcher, played by Christian Bale, and the Jane Foster becomes Thor with her cancer battle subplot. Plus, on top of that, he's showcasing Guardians of the Galaxy and all this Valkyrie character development. That's a lot for a single movie to do right. He has to be particularly careful with the Jane Foster storyline. That cancer situation was an incredibly moving story in the comics, but you gotta have the time to do it right. Plus, these helmets are a choice. This is leaked concept art. We'll see if that's what the final characters look like. The Jane Foster helmet is comics accurate, as it was to hide her identity, because in the comics, at first, no one, including the readers, knew who was the new female Thor. But since Marvel itself revealed that Jane will be wielding Mjolnir, and also everybody now knows because they read the comic, does she still need that helmet? Do you cover up Natalie Portman? I may be in the story that nobody knows who she's supposed to be, but if everybody knows who's watching it, I think that could get old real fast, quite frankly. Let's see if these are indeed the way the characters are going to look in the movie and how it actually looks in live action. All right, then there's Black Panther Wakanda Forever, now set for November 11th, 2022. Yeah, it sucks that it lost its July 4th. It was supposed to be the movie coming out July 8th. First it had the summer date. It's really been moved. Now it's been totally moved out of the summer corridor. But you know what? A winter date is cool because many summer-themed films have done very well when it's cold outside. Aquaman is one of them, and in fact, the sequel for that is set to come out the very next month. Maybe, because it will be Sea God versus Sea God if Aquaman 2 keeps its release date, because Namor is coming. And I've seen on-set pics of Tenoch Huerta, and he looks so incredible that I don't know if Aquaman 2 can get to a release date far enough away from this movie. Namor is an amazing choice. I'm very, very excited for you to see him. Further complicating the sequel is Chadwick Boseman's tragic death and a recast TChalla campaign that unfortunately got traction way too late, as creative decisions have already been made and a good chunk of the film has been filmed, including a funeral for T'Challa. Don't worry, it's a celebration because, as T'Challa so poignantly said in What If, death is a celebration of life. Now, why isn't the film completed? Why are they on a break? Well, not only did Letitia Wright suffer an injury that had to halt production, but it's rumored that her stance on COVID vaccination is keeping the film from starting up again. Also, some of her comments have caused some friction with her and Marvel. On both sides, Letitia Wright, I think many of us have heard, is not totally happy with the situation. The first Black Panther did a wonderful job spotlighting multiple female characters, and Ironheart will be introduced in the sequel before getting her own Disney Plus show. But how will fans react to Letitia Wright as a new Black Panther for this film, and no strong male Wakandan main characters, for most of the film? If anyone can pull it off, it's the brilliant Ryan Coogler. As for TV, Feige is coming in strong yet again with 4 new shows and a holiday special. Oh boy! Moon Knight is rumored to be first up, and with Kingpin noticeably more Disney, it'll be interesting to see how dark this series gets. The Disney Plus Day footage looked plenty dark in an awesome way. I'm very excited for this show. Moon Knight is set to usher in the horror corner of the MCU, setting the stage for the upcoming Blade movie, which doesn't have a release date yet, but is currently casting, I can tell you. And we already heard Blade at the end of The Eternals. He's that voice in the Dane Whitman end credit scene. Know what else looked fantastic on Disney Plus Day? She-Hulk! And yes, it seems like the Hulk himself, She-Hulk will also be fully CGI. And it will be interesting to see how well the character is realized, not just as a main character, CGI Mark Ruffalo has always been used sparingly, but on a streaming show rather than on a movie, although they are spending a lot of money on these shows. Although it's, to animate a character, a CGI character lead for multiple episodes instead of just an hour and a half to 2 hours, let's see. But I hear there'll be a lot of Hulks on this show, as you'll have a whole rainbow of CGI strongmen and women appearing. It was a real surprise to take Secret Invasion and make it a Disney Plus show rather than an Avengers movie event. But let's see where this show leads. Maybe it's just setting up Secret Invasion? We'll see. Samuel L. Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn return from teaming up in both Captain Marvel and Far From Home. What a great duo! Joined by an incredible all-star cast, which must mean these scripts are good. Secret Invasion was one of the best and biggest and most sprawling comic book events of all time. They really did a great job sowing the seeds for that. It was impressive. If the show lives up to that, even just 50%, it's going to be huge. As for Ms. Marvel, what's going on with this show? Because it was filmed before all these other shows, and it should have been next up after Hawkeye. Iman Vellani is already filming The Marvels with a brand new costume, which looks fabulous. 2 big questions surround this show. How will fans react to the drastic changes to Kamala Khan's powers and origins, which I first reported and many refused to believe? And how will fans react to a number of actors of Indian descent playing Pakistani characters, which has already caused some controversy for the show? They've had some other casting controversies as well. Although, let's take a moment, as I said, to applaud some serious diversity in Marvel Phase 4 continues. Not just representing many different corners of the globe, but many strong female characters and many, many, many LGBT characters. It's going to be impressive. Then finally, there's the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, where James Gunn makes his return to the MCU after his dramatic exit and DC Adventure. Or is that Misadventure? The Suicide Squad underperformed and Peacemaker hasn't been making a lot of waves. So far, it's gotten the most attention for a disrespectful Wonder Woman joke set in front of a classroom full of kids. Why kids again? But both, to be fair, both have been getting very good reviews. An undeniable win with this holiday special, good reviews, strong fan reaction would be great for Gunn and do a fantastic and important job of setting the stage for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which kicks off summer 2023. This holiday special was filmed during production for that third movie, as was footage for the new theme park attraction at Epcot, which was delayed because of the pandemic, but will hopefully debut by 2023. It does not have a debut date yet. It could be this year, but 2023 would be perfect because, of course, again, that's when the new movie comes out. Synergy! Disney, they do it very, very well. So what do you think of the MCU's 2022 slate, both in film and in streaming? Which projects are you the most excited about? And which do you think are risky? And how do you think Kevin Feige will be able to navigate them? And what do you think of all the wonderful representation? Share those thoughts down below. Subscribe today. Don't worry, I'm doing a DC video as well. And of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.